Good afternoon, everybody. It is Wednesday, so it's time for my midweek pickup. Today, what I want to talk about is the upgrade effect. A lot of people say, what I'm saying, they want to change up the game. They go change up the game or whatever. But I'm here to tell you, changing up the game is confined, if you will. So what you really should be saying to yourself is, I'm ready to change up my life, period. Whole thing, revamp, everything. I talked a couple weeks ago or last week about putting yourself under construction. So I'm going to elaborate on that a little bit with you today, just so you know what it really means to change up your life versus changing up the game or whatever. So a lot of people look at themselves and they either look at the way that they dress, they look at the way that they are making money, or they look at the car that they're driving. And then they put that in the category, and then that's where you get the phrase, man, I need to step my game up real quick, you know what I'm saying, and get better clothes or get a new wardrobe, get a new job that pays more, or do something that's going to benefit me more than my regular job. Or the car that I'm riding in is not, up to par, so I need to step my game up and get a new car. These are all materialistic things, but when you try to step your life up, you do add those materialistic things in there with it, but at the same time, the benefit is going to be better than trying to step your game up where you're only focusing on one or two things. Now, a lot of people are like, well, when you say step your life up, don't that mean that you have to do these other things in order to do that? Yes, you do. But like I said, when you just say step your game up, most of the time you're confining yourself to one or two things. When I say step your life up, it's time to do some things that are not in the normal for you. It's time to try some things that you may have never tried before. It's time to get out there and network with some people that you may have never networked with before, or do some things that may bring you some revenue that you never thought that you would have revenue in that area. When I say step up, step your life up, I mean that in a way of, become more intelligent, become more aware of what's going on in the world today, become more aware of your surroundings with your children. It's so much in the stepping your life up aspect versus stepping up your game that you can do so much more with. I'll give you another example. Any entrepreneur out there knows that the only way that they are going to be able to start capitalizing on their business is if they are networking. And you can network at many different events. It can be something that's not even in your genre of work that you're trying to do or whatever, but just the networking aspect is something that's going to help step your life up. Because one thing that my stylist told me is, you never know who you're going to end up meeting. So you always have to make sure that you're ready in order to meet someone. You know what I'm saying? And that goes as far as the way that you carry yourself, the way that you're dressed, the way that you put yourself out there for the world to perceive you. All of that is going to matter. So when you're stepping your life up, you're going out on a limb, you're doing other things that you might not have done before. You're meeting people that you may not be used to being with all the time. I've heard this so much in the last couple weeks and I can't remember who said it first, so I'm not trying to take anybody's swag or nothing like that. But I've been hearing this. Look at the 5 people that you spend the most time with, and that's basically where you're going to be at in life. Now, that doesn't mean that you hanging out with the wrong people, it's time for you to change all of that. No, that means evaluate your situation. Look at what's going on around you. look and see if the 5 people that you hang around with the most is in the same spot that they were in, say maybe 5 years ago or 10 years ago even, and it seems like it's always drama or some type of negativity coming from them, and just something that seems like when you look back at it and you're like, man, this is my boy or this is my girl, you know what I'm saying? But life progression is not happening for that person. So it's just like they say, you are what you eat. Birds of a feather flock together. You may be in your mind being like, hey, I'm not going to be on the same level that he or she is on. I'm going to, you know what I'm saying, go to another level or whatever. But when you hang around them so much and you're always around them, how are you going to be able to blossom? How is the seed going to be able to bloom? Because you're just in the same dirt, and not saying people are dirt, but using this as an analogy. You're in the same dirt for years and years and years, and if you don't change that dirt, your seed's not getting the nutrition that it needs to grow. So how are you going to be able to step your life up when you're stuck in the mud with the same type of thing? It's like a hamster on the wheel. If you say that you're not going to change and you know that you're not trying to change or whatever, then that's cool. That's your choice. But change is evolutionary. And I've said this 100 times on each midweek pickup, I think probably since two Novembers ago. If you don't change, you won't be able to evolve into the person that you're meant to be. Time changes all the time. People, eras change all the time. You know what I'm saying? The weather changes all the time. There's always a change. What is so bad about you making a change? And I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying, put all your beliefs on the back burner and try and be a completely, you know what I'm saying, fraud person. That's not what I'm saying. Change is for evolution. You are supposed to evolve and become greater than you were last year, greater than you were last week, hell, greater than you were 5 minutes ago. That should be everybody's mission, especially if you're trying to make a change and you're trying to step your life up instead of just trying to change the game. You know what I'm saying? You need to change your life. So when the game comes around, you're already ready for that. It's already done and over with. So what more do you need to change? You just keep evolving. That's all it is to it. We must keep evolving. You have to get smarter. You have to know things that are going to affect you in a negative way and know things that are going to affect you in a positive way. You have to know the choices that you're going to make, and you have to know what's going to be good for you today versus what's going to be good for you in 5 years from now. And I do use the 5 year a lot, the 5 year example a lot, but a lot of people may say, man, 5 years, that's a long time. But in actuality, 5 years is not a long time at all. Think about it, especially if you have children. Watch how fast your children grow. Your baby could be born last month, and then you blink your eye 2 or 3 times, they off on their way to kindergarten. You know what I'm saying? And we don't, I guess, grasp the concept because we don't feel as if we're getting older because we're watching someone else grow. But the child is changing. The child is evolving. So just because you've reached a certain age in your life, that doesn't mean that it's time for you to stop evolving. No, the goal is to be better than you were before, better than you were at any point in time in your life. That's what the main goal is. That's what the main goal should be for yourself, especially if you're trying to change up your life. Now, I'm going to go on and end this one, but I'm telling everybody now, the biggest supporter that you can have in this change is yourself. And you can also be the biggest downfall in this change because, like I've said before, nobody knows you better than you. So you know what you need to do to make yourself get up in the morning and have a good day, and you know what to avoid, not to stress yourself out too much. And on the flip side, you also know what could ruin your day and what can destroy everything that you sought out for. But it all depends on which lane are you going to go in, which direction are you going to go. If you're going to take the negative, stressful direction, you're not going to get anything out of your day, period, because you're going to be so worried and stressed about everything else. You're not going to have time to even see something positive that could be right in your face. You're not even going to see it because you're so clouded by negativity. So what I encourage everybody to do is don't just change the game, change up the life, the lifestyle, the things you do. Incorporate some new things. Do something different that you usually wouldn't do before. You know what I'm saying? Go out there, take the leap, jump. It might be something that is going to help you in the future. And 9 times out of 10, when you try something that's different, or you go to something that you usually don't go to, you end up meeting somebody that's going to help you in whatever situation or whatever cause or whatever, anything that you're trying to get to. So always know, keeping an open mind is good, and change is always for the best, because if we don't evolve, you know what I'm saying, what are we doing? As always, put God first, family second. Everything else will follow. I will see y'all next Wednesday. Peace.